What's going on, guys? TZ Champ here, and welcome to another movie review. This one is of John Wick Chapter 4. Where do I begin with this? There's so much I want to talk about with this movie, but I also don't want to get into spoilers for the movie. This was a really good movie. Now, I don't want my experience for the movie to be like, kind of twisting my rating for the movie. I had a bad experience in the theater, but that's not the movie's fault, so I'm trying to hold that completely separate, and I'm going to hold that completely separate. But I had like somebody that was sitting like one seat over from me, and she took her shoes off during the movie, and it would just smell terrible. Her feet smelled terrible and stuff, and it was like her and her boyfriend. And it's like, bro, put your freaking shoes on. You're in a public place. Other people are around you. You're nasty. Like, bro. Ugh. So that sucked. That really sucked. Like, I literally like lost my appetite for popcorn and stuff. Like, after the first like whiff of that, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I looked over, and I saw her shoes lay on the ground, and I was like, what? So that was terrible. Had to deal with that for like the entire movie, which was 2.5 hours long. So yeah, I was a little, by the end of that, I was like kind of, done and just ready for the movie to be over, sadly. But okay, so let's just tackle this right away. The movie was really good. I'm a fan of the John Wick movies. I love the John Wick movies. A lot of people aren't fans of the John Wick movies, so your opinions might differ. A lot of people are tired of the John Wick movies because they don't like some of the action shots that they do. They don't think that they're really good. They think they're overused and kind of simplistic compared to other movies and all that kind of stuff. This movie took everything from the previous John Wick movies and kind of just turned it up to an 11. There are so many fight scenes in this movie, it is unreal. A lot of the fight scenes are continuous fight scenes, or at least they're seamlessly continuous, to where it's really hard to even tell if they cut anywhere. It is really good. For fighting. The gunplay, like the gun fu, as some people say, is really good in this movie as well. They introduce a new character who's a blind dude who is super bad to the bone. He's really awesome to watch fight and stuff as well, and he's he's a funny character and a very likable character. They introduce a couple other characters. There's some sad moments in the movie as well. It's an emotional roller coaster. It was really nice seeing Lance in this. Any of you do not know Lance Reddick, he plays the concierge at the Continental in New York. In this movie, he's been in, I think, every single movie so far from the beginning. And he's in this again, and he just recently passed away. That was an emotional moment. I felt really bad watching his character because of what his character has to experience in this movie and what he kind of goes through. It makes it even sadder. So I don't want to spoil that for you or anything like that, but it does make it very, very sad. Knowing that he's, gone. The action was good. The car driving and stuff was really good. I love that scene. There are some moments that will kind of take you aback because it's like, okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. Like, one thing that I praise John Wick movies on is that they're very realistic in terms of gunplay, because a lot of these action movies, it seems like they never have to reload. They just keep going and going and going and going and firing and firing and firing. So with this movie, that's not like with his movies, that's not really a thing. Like, he's constantly reloading or running out of ammo and has to reload. Now, I will say that there are some moments where it's a little suspect with the ammo count. But in this movie, there's only like 2 moments where it's like that. One is towards kind of the beginning. They're fighting and he's shooting while they're like kind of running away, and it doesn't ever show him like reloading, but he fires a lot of bullets. And then the car scene, of course, he fires a lot of bullets there too, but it also doesn't show him reloading. But with those scenes, I kind of give you a slight pass just because that's a lot to choreograph while driving and stuff. And I do think he does reload a couple of times during the car scenes. It's just he fires a lot of bullets before, if that makes sense. There's also a scene where they're fighting in traffic, and you can heavily tell that it's all green screened and stuff. That'll take you out of it for a minute. There's also, I think, like one other scene that you can tell is kind of all like green screened, I think, or not necessarily green screen. It's I really don't know how to describe it, but there's that one scene in the traffic when they're fighting that you can heavily tell it's all like green screen and like stuff's not gonna happen like the way that they have it happening. So that'll kind of take you out of the movie for a second, but it's literally like it's fine because it makes for some really cool action shots and some funny moments in my opinion. There's a nightclub scene and he like kills people, and the people in the nightclub are just still like sitting there dancing. Like, there's people that'll literally stop, watch him kill somebody, shoot them in the head, and then like seconds later it'll cut back to them just dancing. Yeah, stuff like that. Arguably, you could say, well, this is a crime lord's, nightclub. They're probably used to it and stuff, but then they start running a little bit later, and it's kind of like, what are you doing? So that's kind of weird. The dude who plays that boss guy, I can't think of his name right now. I think his name is like Alan or something like that. That dude's wearing a fat suit, and it's crazy how good he is in that fat suit, because that was something I noticed. Like the dude is wearing a fat suit because he's supposed to be playing like this big, kind of like heavy set boss dude. And he starts moving, and when I say he's moving, I mean he is moving in that suit, and it's just like, okay, that doesn't seem right. So, yeah, it's apparently a dude in a fat suit. I didn't know it was a fat suit. I thought the actor himself might have been, like, on the big side, and then they might have, like, CG'd to make him look even bigger. But no, it's actually like a skinnier dude, like a buffer dude, and he's just in a fat suit, and he's moving around. That's a lot of weight, like, first of all, even though it's not fully as fat as, like, or fully weighted down as, like, the suit makes you appear to be, that's still a lot of weight extra to be moving around with. So that was impressive. The storyline of the movie is okay. It's pretty good. I liked it. Which of course all of them are lined up with like the same story. So from the beginning until now, they've all been doing the exact same storyline. It's just progressing it further and further and further, to where now he finally has to do like this big deal kind of thing. It was really, really good. I had fun watching it. As I said, there's like some sad parts in it, especially like Lance's character's interactions and stuff is pretty sad. I'm going to be controversial on this, possibly. Now, I might not be. Like, I feel like some other people might agree. I hated the ending to this movie. I could not stand the ending to this movie. It was terrible, in my opinion. I understand why they did it the way they did it, but I hated the ending to this movie. Oh my gosh, I hated it. It felt unsatisfactory to me. Like, it did not feel satisfying at all. It was I'm again trying not to spoil anything. It was kind of like a bittersweet kind of ending. Because, as I said, I understand the way they ended it and why they ended it the way that they ended it, but I still don't like it. Just because it makes sense and that it seems like the thing to do doesn't mean everybody's got to like it. I feel like I won't be the only person that feels that way, though. I feel like there's going to be some other people that also don't like the movie. I feel like there's some things that they missed out on, like fleshing out some characters a little bit more. They introduced a couple new characters, as I said before. One of which you only see towards the beginning portions of the movie, and then she disappears. The other one, he constantly reappears throughout the movie, and they do like some semi-character development kind of stuff with him. Not a lot, though. And then at the very end, he's there till the very end. And then after it ends, it doesn't like flesh out anything else with him, so you don't know what happens. There is an end credit scene. So a lot of you might not have known that, but there is an end credit scene, but it's after the second credits. So they had the first credits, nothing happens. The second credits, there's a scene. Well, I say that. I don't think anything happens after the first credits. I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's an end credit scene in the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I know that was my last video. I did get up to go to the bathroom during that one for the first credits, and then I came back for the second credits. I don't know if there's an end credit scene or not for that one at all. I didn't stay because the way I watched the movies, I watched them both in the same night. So as soon as the Dungeons and Dragons movie ended, I had to go back to the counter, got a refill of my drink and some popcorn, and then went straight into the John Wick movie because it was about to start. So I didn't have time to sit and watch all the credits for that one. But for the John Wick movie, I did. So I do believe I watched everything. I watched the first credits and the second credits. So the first credits has no end credit scene. The second credits does. And it's a lackluster end credit scene, too, because it doesn't actually show you anything. It shows you two characters. It doesn't even show them interact with each other. It shows them right before they're about to interact with each other, and then it cuts off. So it leaves you to speculate what happened. And I don't like that because I wanted some closure there. So it kind of makes me feel like there might be another movie coming out. But I don't know based off of how the other stuff ended. So I don't know. So let me just say, you should go watch it for yourself and you decide what rating you should give it, of course, because my ratings don't always mean anything. But that being said, I would have to give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. Just because. No, give it a 10 out of 10. It deserves it. The ending for me is what I want to give it a 9.5 out of 10 for, because as I said, I didn't like the ending, but that's a personal grievance versus the actual goodness of the movie, and I personally believe that the movie was really, really good. If you like fighting movies, you're going to love the movie. If you like John Wick movies, you're going to like the movie. If you like action movies, you're going to like the movie. I mean, it's really, really good. I don't think there's any movie in history that has more fight scenes than this movie, by the way, so that's crazy. I would like to see somebody who goes through this movie and counts how many people he kills, because I'm pretty sure he killed over 200 people in this movie, and it has some of the most beautifully shot like scenes as well. Like the room clearing scene with a freaking shotgun was pretty dope. It had incendiary rounds and it gave you a top view, and it was so, it was so beautiful. So yeah, I would give it a 10 out of 10. Go watch this movie. It is really good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's just the personal feelings that I have towards the ending, but those personal feelings do not matter. So go watch it for yourself. Let me know in the comment section down below, what would you rate it, what you enjoyed, what was your favorite part of it, and all of that good stuff. And also, as always, be sure to check out the links in the description down below. Follow me on all my socials, and be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Laters.